this. What does that say? You say darky?
Radio personality and singer Darlene McCoy Jackson took to Instagram addressing her thousands of followers about the incident that happened Friday at Woody's Cheesesteaks in Buckhead.
When they took the order, he asked me my name, and I said Darlene. And he typed in darky, and I noticed it when I was paying for it because the name came up on the screen. And I said, wait a minute. I said, my name is Darlene. He says, oh, yeah, I heard you. I said, but you have darky written in there. Could you change that? He says, no.
She says when she pointed out the issue, the employee was rude and dismissive and refused to offer a refund.
I said, sir, all I asked you was to be a little bit more sensitive to this. You can't call black people darky.
First and foremost, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so sorry to Miss Darlene and the experience that she had today, because it's not what we're about at Woody's. We're about inclusivity. We're about diversity. We're about respect for everybody.
Woody's owner, Steve Renner, is apologizing, but also says his employee made a simple mistake.
He uses abbreviations a lot. And when he heard the name Darlene, he didn't know exactly how to type it into the computer. So he was typing the name Darly, D-A-R-L-Y. And that was his remembrance for when he went to call her name when the order was ready.
He says the employee, who is Hispanic, may have had a language barrier in understanding.
There is a little bit of a language barrier, and he does the best he can, taking cheesesteak orders and orders for soda, but a lot of the rest was lost. I've known the employee for many years, and there's never been an experience like this before.
Renner says he will work with the employee to better communicate with customers in the future. As for McCoy, she says the experience has left her disheartened.
I was my first-time customer. Now I'm a last-time customer. I'll never be back.
The owner also told us he made efforts to contact McCoy Jackson to make a personal apology, but he has not been able to reach her.
Screamed at the top of his lungs. He slammed the phone on the nurse on the 3rd floor, and he called me a dumb bee. Your response was the same. He said, well, we know, and we have someone replacing him, and in 2 weeks, he's going to take over for him. So I got to put up with this dude every night for 2 weeks, no matter what the abuse is, no matter how high the level of abuse rises. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, that little voice in your head or on your shoulder that be talking, it's a real thing. Listen to it. When he was yelling at me and he was going, shut up, something like triggered me to go, wait a minute, you need proof. Because I already told them he's crazy. Nothing happened. Nurses have quit because of him. He curses out every nurse that calls him. I'm about to record it, and I didn't do it sneaky. I pulled it out right in his face and turned on audio only for my protection, which is what I explained to the director when I let her hear the recording, because clearly nothing is happening, and hospitals are known to side with physicians over nurses. We know that. You know, and what I know, when I left that day, which it was, Sunday morning, I posted the video. I didn't get a call from anybody at the facility. I had to go back to work that night and deal with the same type of energy, because he's always the on-call doctor. At night, nothing happened. Fast forward to here it is Monday. Now the video is viral. It's trending. Now I get some type of feedback from the facility, which is, of course, we're going to terminate your contract. I have heard from people internally who work there who reached out to me separately to tell me this guy should have been fired. They told me he is not fired. Go figure, right? However, I'm going to keep it funky 1,000 with y'all. I really don't care. Work anywhere. I know my worth. I knew what I was doing when I decided to do it. Also, when as far as to read the social media policy, which does not state you can't post, as you shouldn't post anything regarding their policies and procedures and their secrets. It says that you shouldn't post negative, harassing, defaming, false things. Everything that I posted is factual. And again, I don't care, because I knew I wouldn't be protected against a physician at a hospital where I work agency, which is the exact reason why I did it. I have reached out to my lawyer. Guy is being reported to every board there is. He will be going out not in style, okay? He will be going out without a license, and I will be doing everything in my power to now hold the hospital accountable.
He pump faking. No, you say he'll take that boy.
Yeah, Matt, like you said, there was a 21-year-old shot and killed just before midnight right here at this Amazon fulfillment facility in Baton Rouge. The investigators have identified the victim as 21-year-old Dalen Anthony. Police say Anthony and the suspected shooter got into a verbal and physical argument, which led to the suspected shooter to pull out a gun and shoot Anthony. Police also believe the alleged shooter is also an Amazon employee. They fled the scene before officers arrived and are not yet in custody. Their name has also not yet been released. Officials confirmed that Amazon did evacuate the facility, and again, this shooting is still under investigation.
I sure hate that I missed going live, because today, baby, the ports are empty. Oh, I'm going to find some time to go live today. I've been swamped with meetings and so forth. Listen, the ports are empty. Let me say that again, because there should have been an echo behind what I said. The ports are empty. I just saw a video from someone who is clear that there's nothing coming for the next 90 days after this shipment on the 29th. Ports are empty. Do I need to say anything else? Where my neighbors at? We've been talking about this, haven't we? We've been talking about the fact that we need to shop local. We need to use our farmers markets and create our own gardens.
So I just want to start off on that first video, an oldie but a goodie. I just want to state that there is no, and wasn't this down south as well too? So again, I can't be really too surprised. And I think they said it was in Buckhead, whatever. Maybe I might be incorrect. I don't know. But what I do know is the fact of two things. There is not a great enough language barrier for somebody to decipher and try to figure out a way how to say Darlene differently. Like, you're just playing with people's intelligence at this moment in time. And this is why I stated to people before that racism and colorism run very deep in the Hispanic community. I don't care what excuse that they want to sit up there and give for what obviously seems to be an immigrant who wanted to type that out. You know what the keys are. You know what QWERTY is, which for anybody else is basically the keyboard, the main setup that you got, or you can do alphabetical order, however it is. You know how to read those letters. And for whatever reason, you're just like, I'm just going to type in whatever it is that I want to type in. She had a conversation and tried to correct you a multitude of times, and you opted not to do it. You wanted to be indignant. You just wanted to just be like, oh, I don't care. Right? Because again, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your people. You don't have a history of this. So for you, it's nothing. And then number two, side by side, and this is what I continuously talk about on this platform time and time again. The white man, the owner, came directly up and he was like, well, the guy that I have, I've known him for years. Sounds familiar, right? Then there seems to be a language barrier, and he was trying to decipher and and say it a certain types of way, and he does the exact same thing with sodas and different things like that. Excuse number two sounds familiar, right? And then number three, he was like, hey, this person is not going to get fired because realistically they did nothing wrong, and that's going to be that. Again, gave all the excuses in the world for why it is that it took place. And this is why I stated to people before that whenever you have Hispanics directly out there, they are team white. Team white is team Hispanics. No matter how they have a debate, no matter how they have their arguments, they are one and the same. They are both together. conjoined at the hip. It just is what it is. If I have to explain this to people, then it is what it is. You might want to go do your own research. Matter of fact, I've actually covered videos going directly over the information as well. I'm going to put it like this, going straight from the hip. I don't feel sorry for what took place here. You had a young dude that was at Amazon, obviously working, because you can see him with the vest directly on. So he's there working, getting his job, getting it legal, right? And then you got the normal criminal minds coming together, deciding that, oh, I spotted this dude directly at his job. Let me go mess something up for everybody else. Because this is how ignorant, this is how stupid I am. I'm going to sit up here and be out at whatever time at night, instead of minding my own business, instead of going out there getting a job, instead of worrying about myself. I'm going to decide, I'm about to sit up there and slide on knobs. I'm about to sit up there and catch them lacking. We're going to sit up there and film it and post it online. Right? And now the aha is you're no longer here. Now the aha is that your parents got to sit up there and bury you. The aha is that you more than likely didn't have no life insurance to sit up there and cover any of the things that your family now got to come together and, try to figure out, because you opted to be stupid. You opted to run up on somebody knowing the fact, and you said yourself that you know that the person is armed, and you thought you and your compadres, you and your partner thought that it was a good idea to roll up on this dude while a third guy is sitting up there filming, because y'all thought y'all had it in the bag. Nah, you in the bag. That's the real bag. You thought you had in the bag? No, now you're in the bag for life. And I could have sworn Dr. Umar sat up there and told people a while ago that he's not going to be able to psychologize a lot of your boys. Some of them are going to have to get put down for good. And that's exactly what took place. One of them got put down for good because he decided to roll up on somebody that was carrying and proceeded to state multiple times on camera, I'm going to take that from you. I'm going to take that from you. I'm going to take that from you. And he proceeded to try to do just that, basically assaulted somebody. And you know what happens when somebody is able to carry a firearm and they're able to respond back when they're in distress, when they're in fear of their life. And like I said before, the only thing that the Amazon worker did wrong, from my perspective, is that he ran from the scene. He should have stayed directly there because he was justified in trying to protect himself. It was 1 versus 2. It was also being filmed. The guy threatened him on multiple occasions. He also stated that he was going to try to take whatever he had directly on him. He was justified in being able to protect himself at his job. He was justified. And like I said, I'm not trying to hear any videos if they do come out later on. I'm not trying to hear nothing about the dude who was trying to steal or take from this dude. I don't want to hear the families talking about, oh, he was a great kid. I'm not trying to hear none of that, because that's not what's being on display at this moment in time. The actions that were committed against somebody who looks just like him. Because I promise you, this is what would have happened. Let's say that the other young man who was no longer here was actually able to get said firearm. That young man who was up to no good would have then turned said firearm. If the other guy would have tried to get back said firearm, he would have took his life. Look at that. It still would have been a lose-lose, huh? And you wouldn't sit up there and hear, the family again deciding to come out and wanting to say something. It'd be nothing they could sit up there and say. Like I said before, this was not needed. It realistically shouldn't have happened. But there's nothing that you can do when ignorance steps foot. The only thing that you can do is just respond. And that's what the young Amazon worker did. So like I said before, if they want to happen to, do anything, maybe they might give him something for leaving the scene. Other than that, for me, he's innocent. You had 2 people come up to his job, which should not have been there at all. At all. But this is what they decided to do. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So I actually did a video on this and showcased the fact that the Indian doctor wanted to talk to this black nurse any and all different types of ways. Matter of fact, just to give people a little bit of a, thing, let me just put this up here.
You on call right now?
You don't even know that.
You are the doctor on call. Does the nurse on 3 just call me and say,
Nurse on 3 and you get help by any breakdown of communication? No,
why are you screaming at me?
Because you guys do not care.
Dr. Sadiq, there's a patient that needs to be assessed.
Would you shut up?
Are you not?
There's no Dr. SEIJIHITO. I have enough of this.
Dr. Sadiq, I have a patient.
Would you just shut up?
Why are you telling me to shut up and
Because
screaming at me? I'm not your child.
Don't you have any sense?
I did not make a decision to admit him. Do you not understand English? I came in at 11 at
Shut up, man. Listen English.
So with that little brief clip, you are able to understand where she's coming from and why it is that she had to record what was going on, because this doctor is out of whack. Again, this is an Indian man from India, right? He decided that he, wants to throw his weight around. He wants to talk to this black woman any type of way because he feels that he can. Again, because over there, that's what they do. The women over there do not get respected. They are not really valued as they should be valued. So this is why you have that culture coming directly over here and deciding that they can just holler and talk to a woman any which way. But more specifically, this is how he decided that he wanted to talk to a black woman. He knows beyond a shadow of a doubt that he would not be at the hospital if he decided to do that to a white woman. He knows better. He knows better. He would not sit up there and do that. Right. So like I said before, for the black women out there in the nursing field, you got to be very careful. You have to be very cautious, because in a lot of instances, even though you are in the right and you are fighting to prove, in a sense, your worth, for your respect and everything like that. You went to school, but you didn't go to school to deal specifically with this. You went to school to, make more money and to, do a lot of things, right? No problem. You have to be very careful, because these hospitals, these facilities will let you go. This is not my first instance or run around with seeing stories like this. My mom is a nurse, and she has told me countless times how foreigners, both men and women, will treat black women, will devalue black women, will talk to them negatively, will decide to try to get into cahoots with one another in order to get a black American woman fired. This is not the first time that I've heard of things like this, and this is not the first time that I've seen a facility decide to let a black woman go before they decide to let the other person go. Like I said, that's crazy to me. You're going to let the person go who is trying to make this better for everybody else, versus the doctor. You can find, you can sit up there and just throw like a dime and magically find, a doctor, right? They're out there. But you figure that that's more important than the nurses. The nurses are the ones, in a lot of instances, doing the footwork. They know a lot more about the medication. They have to write the, prescriptions. They got to, know the side effects and all these other, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like I said, that's 100% crazy to me. That's 100% crazy. But I will state to this woman here, because I don't want it to be in a case of which that they're trying to go after her to the point where they want to try to strip her of her license because she put everything on blast. She should work on do some research and become a traveling nurse. That's one of the ways that you'll be able to get away from this. You'll be able to keep your license, and you'll be able to just go see the world or do the things that you want to do. Because in a lot of times when it deals with these confined spaces, you have to deal with a lot of stuff. You got to deal with discrimination. You got to deal with racism. You got to deal with a multitude of things. So in order not to do that, you may want to start looking in other avenues, in other areas. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.